Hi, welcome back to the Chasing Tone podcast. I'm Travis.
I'm Max.
I'm Brian.
And I am freaked out by all the cameras going on right now.
We got a lot of cameras.
Got a lot of cameras. This is a full production.
Big brother.
It's not.
Switch camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, but only you can only do that to 3 cameras because
Why?
Because you can't do it to mine. You're not on it.
I know.
Anyways, people who are listening to this are like, shut up about your cameras. If they're watching it on YouTube, they're like, we kind of get it, but
if you're in your car,
it's still not funny.
If you're in your car, you're like, these guys suck.
We hear that all the time.
What's
anyway.
the chubby guy talking about?
So
Get on topic.
what I want to do is that this guy,
John
Gregorowski. Yeah, John G writes. That's a Maxism. No, John Wright. He basically has questions for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go in order. Do you want to go from an order of like technical standpoint?
I don't care.
Because you would go first there.
I don't care.
Let's do that.
Sure.
Brian, tube technology is amazing, but kind of archaic. Do you think our grandkids or great-grandkids will be playing digital amps and pedals exclusively? And will tube amps be in museums when they get the emulation right? Or will we always need that real organic tube sound? Or is emulating a tube like trying to make a cyborg that passes for human? Impossible, probably.
I think our kids and grandkids will be playing Xbox.
Yeah, right.
Screw guitar.
Yeah, or playing something that goes do 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 do. And that's you know what? That's
Something
a new
like
hit song, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Kesha Aguilera is going to make that a hit.
I think that guitar will probably go the way of the accordion.
I don't know because like
I hope not. But
I thought that like when that one, what's that bald dude that did techno?
Moby?
Yeah. When Moby was doing like his thing,
you laugh like,
I was
how
like,
the hell's Brian know that?
I was like, wow, Brian actually knows who Moby is. 5 cool points, man. That's awesome.
But like when he did that, and then like, and I like 9 Inch Nails. I think it's cool, but like
They make me, never mind.
But like, you know, like that first record they had like a hole on it, but all that. But they had guitar on it. And then like they started doing more stuff, and like the guitar was keyboards. So I was like, and that was a time like in the 90s, like when grunge was dying.
Yeah.
You know, and then like all this stuff came out, and you know, it was really kind of hitting the MTVs, and I was like, oh no, what's going to happen to guitar? Mm-hmm. But now you can turn on pop radio. You know, people like Pharrell, he's using guitar.
Maroon
5, yeah. And like you hear it everywhere. Like all the female pop singers have a guitar. I mean, really the LA scene is coming back with guitar. Most of the time it's clean funk stuff. Like that Bruno Mars tune, Uptown Funk. The whole thing is guitar. So I think guitar will still be there.
I don't hope so. I just don't. I think the day of rock guitar and the day of, I mean, besides people of our generation. But
no, it'll come back.
You think so?
I do.
I think so.
I do.
Man.
And I think it'll take somebody like Steel Panther to do it.
I don't know.
You know,
I mean,
because think about this. Remember the band The Darkness?
Yeah.
Dude, they came out of nowhere and they had hits.
Yeah.
And what did they sound like?
80s rock.
80s rock. Mm-hmm. So basically it just comes, it's all about the swagger. You know what I mean? It's got to be the right person at the right time. But
it's something real, man. I mean, people can grip onto it. You know?
And
it's cool.
And I do think, though, it'll never have the same effect. I think it'll be one of those things that's cute. For instance, like 50s and 60s kind of doo-wop thing. Like, for instance, that I'm All About the Bass song.
Sure.
Right? You know, that came out, and it featured 50s and 60s doo-wop. Right?
Yeah.
And shoot-a-loops. It has shoot-a-loops in it.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a 50. It's not like the a 50s or 60s band that's playing that.
Right. But what I'm saying is done almost out of novelty. It's cute. And I think that's when 80s rock will come back. I think it'll be something like,
I don't know, man.
This,
I see a lot of like the younger guys, like for example, my kids in high school.
Mm-hmm.
The kids aren't playing guitar. They're playing loops. They're using loops and making music.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when I was in high school, you were kind of cool if you played guitar.
Yeah, and now you're probably a band nerd.
And if that, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's like guitar. It's like, yeah, I've got a guitar. It's an acoustic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. It's just not the same.
I played guitar in high school, but I only learned one song because chicks were into it.
That's
That
needed.
some Dave Matthews
That's all you
song.
needed was the one song.
Yeah, all
right?
you need is like, yeah.
You want to hear my song?
Yeah. She wakes up in the morning. Dude, Dave Matthews. Right? Yeah, come on. But that's what Dave Matthews doing. Come on.
That was a good one.
Yeah, right. But okay, but let's get to the tech
Sure.
aspects.
Sure.
This is one thing I asked you. I
Ask.
asked you. No, this is one thing I asked you
Okay.
a couple years ago, probably. I said, "Do you ever freak out about, people stopping using pedals?" And you were like, or analog pedals, and you're like, "Man, I don't know." You're like, "Obviously, only time will tell," but people still use tube amps,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to answer that because I think eventually only purists will use tube amps because I think it'll go the way of hi-fi radio.
Of some sort, yeah. I mean,
You know.
I don't know if it's gonna be like technically radio anymore, but
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking about the technology of tube versus solid state. And what I mean by that is like most people nowadays, like me, I'm a music lover. I'm absolutely fine with listening to MP3s on my computer through reference monitors,
right.
or even speakers, and
Yeah.
I'm a music nut. So like,
But I think you still have those purists who
that's
who
what
buy
I'm saying.
vinyl.
Yeah, you have
know?
the purists that buy vinyl, and that's coming back, by the way.
Big time.
But I think it was
But it's never going to be as big as it was, though.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right, and
So, there's always going to be a need for tube amps, but it's not.
right.
I don't think it's going to be as big as it was 10 years ago. Or
Right, and I think right now, and I hate to say it, but I think the market is getting so flooded.
with not
With
only
everything, with guitars, pedals, amps,
everything. Yeah,
we're all
there's
guilty.
there's a new guitar builder every week. There's a new amp builder every week. There's a new
Yeah.
pedal builder every week.
Here's a challenge to our listeners: come up with an original name that doesn't suck for a guitar pedal.
Sure.
Try it, and then once you come up with it, Google it.
Yeah, search the trademark database or something.
Yeah. Or if you even want to go way, way easier, just type in the name and then after it, guitar pedal
Yeah.
or guitar.
More than likely, it's already been named that.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. Or it's a guitar, or it's an amp, or something that's too close.
Our next pedal I was going to come out, I was going to call it the Box of Rock. It's
You should have just called it Rock Box. Wait a minute.
boiling point.
Yeah, right? Yeah, see, it's like you can't do anything.
I think when we sit down to name a new pedal, I think each of us comes up with a list. I think my list last time was like 150 names. 3 of them were okay, but 2 of those were trademark infringed.
Yeah, right? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. We got way off topic.
No,
there.
that's all right.
But it's still
At
on
least
topic,
we're
but-
on a topic
Yeah,
about
we're on
guitar.
a topic, right?
Sure.
Dave Matthews.
So the guy that hates us on YouTube
Yeah.
will be fine.
Yeah, go ahead and do us a favor. Hit that thumbs down button.
We know it's you every
we
time.
know it's you
okay.
every time. It tells us. But anyway, I think, unfortunately, I will always play tube amps, but I'm old.
It's true.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
will be the old guy. You know what
But
I mean?
I don't think if my kid was playing guitar,
Right.
I don't think he gives.
Especially, my 14-month-old son. By the
Right.
time he gets to play guitar,
There's probably going to be completely awesome solid state modeling
Yes.
of some sort.
and
You know
I'll
what I
be
mean?
like, you need to play this old Plexi that's 100 years old or whatever.
and he'd be like, "Why? I'm just recording on my Mac anyway."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's like, no, I'm just going to use Amplitude. And nothing against Amplitude, but it's like for instance, I think I've told this story before, so if it's redundant, I apologize. But I sent this, I'm writing music with this guy, right? And he's a big time tone guy. You should see, he has a Supro collection. He has all these vintage amps, but I sent him the thing and the file, and he was like, "Man, those tones sound really good. What was that?" And I said, "That was my Les Paul Jr. straight into my computer using Amplitude."
You sent me something once, and I was like, "Wow, that sounds great."
Yep.
And you said, "That's just Amplitude, dude."
Yeah, yeah.
like, damn,
You're
use
"It
that
sounds
more
like-"
often.
Yeah, you're like, "That sounds like a JCM 800." And it's the first time I ever used it, so it's not like. Have you ever used any of that stuff? The amplitude?
I've played around with it, but not
Yeah.
exclusively.
I really like it, man. I know on actually Amplitude. I'm not sure it works this way with other software. You can download like any model. Or you can rent it.
Yeah,
Like if you just want to use it for a session.
The problem is though is after you mix that set, you better mix that.
You better
session.
mix it and get how you want it.
You better, yeah. So, because I tried to revisit it with like some like tape delay, and I was like, oh, she gone. But, yeah.
I had that one too. The hard
One of the coolest things about my job, I'll never forget it. Brian says, "Hey man, I need you to download this version of Amplitude because it's got the Wampler Pinnacle on it." And this was before it ever came out,
Right.
And you're like
the prototype version.
Yeah, you're like, I want you to play, the Pinnacle, and then play the computer and see how close it is, and then write down what needs to change.
Right.
And it was cool because, like, me, I'm never bashful about giving my honest opinion. So I was like, they need to change this, and sure enough, they did, and it was like awesome. It's super close.
Yeah.
It's super close.
Yeah, it's pretty bright dudes. I wonder what happened if they built pedals. We'd be out of a job. That's what.
Do not build pedals.
I keep wanting media. Please don't.
So, I mean, that kind of wraps that up for me. I think eventually Solid State will take over because I hate to say it, but the tones are there.
Oh yeah.
It's the feel that's not. From what I hear, I honestly can't say that because I haven't spent a lot of time I haven't played a Kemper.
It's close enough. I know Andrew Oy, which you guys may know that name, but to our audience, he's the guy that does a lot of like TV scores and all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you've probably heard a ton of his stuff on movies. But anyways, he's one of our artists who uses our things, but he always records direct.
That's crazy.
And some of the tones he gets, it's
Mega.
just unbelievable how good it sounds.
Yeah.
And it's not with an amp at all. You might use a pedal going into something.
Yeah, and
it's just I forget if it's amplitude or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it pains me to say that, but the tones are there.
Yeah.
And especially like from what I've heard, but the heavier styles of music, they're there. It's just they don't have the feel. It's the whole movement of air.
Movement of air is hard.
If somebody
hard to mimic.
ever figures that out, we're screwed.
Maybe what they should do is like put a fan next to their desk.
Yeah, just in front of the speakers.
Blow the back of your legs or something. Every time.
Dude, speaking of fans, I had my ceiling fan on the other day while I was jamming.
Is your hair awesome?
No, instant tremolo.
Yeah, that's true.
It was awesome, right?
It's got 2 speeds.
Yeah, yeah, low and high. Okay, so
that's the amp thing.
yeah, I'm gonna skip myself because
Really?
no, I'll get to it, but I'm
Okay.
gonna go Max first because Max hasn't spoken in like 13 minutes. And let's face it, that's the only reason people listen to this show is to hear Max.
It's true. I'm hilarious.
So, Max, please explain to an Englishman what B's and G's are. I've got an image of you dipping digestives into beef stock. Please tell me you ain't doing that, right?
Well, it's basically manna in the Midwest.
What did you say? Was
like
that
manna,
English?
like manna from heaven.
Manna?
It's deliciousness. It's full of delicious points. That's all you need to know.
Well, you gotta go back. What is this manna thing?
It's biblical. Anyways,
Oh, okay. that would be why I don't
You
get it.
wouldn't
Go ahead.
understand
It's
it.
true.
so there's probably there's
I've
probably
once heard of the Bible. Like, go ahead.
yeah there's probably some wording that are broken down culturally. So I'm gonna ask our English representative. Travis, you spent like 6 months there total, right?
yeah,
England?
probably about 6 months in the UK.
So what would B's and G's stand for in here in America? Biscuits and gravy. But I know a biscuit is like a cookie, right?
Yeah,
In the UK?
right. They call them digestives or biscuits. Like, if you ever had a fudge round, you know what a fudge round is?
Yeah, they're delicious.
They call those digestives.
Gotcha.
Like cookies like that. You know what I mean?
So what would be
So
like
what's
a
roll?
biscuit?
Yeah, what's a floury?
Kind of like a plain scone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take your word on
right?
this.
But softer than a scone, huh?
Sometimes depends
Aren't
on who cooks them.
really?
You know what I mean? Like, I've had scones at pasty shops that have been great. You know what I mean? That
Aren't scones like sweet?
Some of them, like, yeah, I mean some, but you can just have like a basic flour scone too.
Right.
So it'd be kind of like a bland scone.
Okay.
Okay.
So take that and then take gravy, add sausage into the gravy.
Okay,
pour it on
gravy
top.
is what our gravy tastes very similar to what you guys dip your Yorkshire pudding in.
Sure.
No,
Well, sausage.
He will know You will know exactly what I mean, right? And then you add like pork sausage, but spicy pork sausage to the gravy.
And I'm not that smart, so
Which is
I
already
just say
good.
B's and G's.
Right. So we just say B's and G's. But it's a white gravy. It's not a brown gravy. So
It's
maybe
true.
that's not like it.
Depends how much sausage
Yeah,
and
because
fats in it.
it's sweet and yummy, and delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
It is really
It
good.
clogs your arteries up, so it's good.
But so is Yorkshire pudding. That's great.
I don't know if I've ever had Yorkshire pudding.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking of pudding tastes like gravy. That just doesn't sound good.
No, it's not pudding like we call pudding.
So it's not like
I'm
Jello
thinking of Bill
pudding.
But anyway, don't get me started on the Bill Cosby thing because I'm going to say something that offends somebody. Somebody just say anything else about anything else.
So I think his question towards you, Travis.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So.
You want to say that?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. You're the host. I
It's
can
just-
say like
it's just
12
quiet.
words in an episode, and I've already exceeded that.
All right. Yeah. We got to pay him more if he goes over 160 words.
He's got 150 characters here.
All right. Travis, I've seen a few pickup boosters on the market. For example, Seymour Duncan pedal, Eric Clapton's signature Strat has an active boost, etc. Do single coils need a boost to sound good, or are these just for players who used humbuckers? Or is it about the amp? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Like anything, I have thoughts on everything. So,
Get ready.
I have actually used the pickup booster. That's the name of the pedal.
Yep.
And I had basically the poor man's Clapton Strat. It was called a Powerhouse Stratocaster. Do you remember these?
No.
They're Mexican made, but they
do
had the
remember
same
these.
they had the same boost in the volume.
Just an active boost
It
inside
was an
the
active
guitar.
boost. No, it was passive because I didn't have to put. Did I have to put a battery in
No,
it?
they're passive.
Yeah, they're passive.
It's a passive boost.
Yeah,
How do
like, I don't know, but basically, like it has like a notch in the pot, so like you can turn it to like 8 and it's normal, and then as soon as you hit that notch, man, it's louder.
That must have something to do with electronics. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't get it.
yeah.
You're supposed to be the smart one.
Hey, I'm not an engineer.
It's like
I'm just a dude who puts the resistors and capacitors together.
It's like that sounds better. Patent shkabang.
pickups.
I'm trying out new catchphrases here.
I like shebang.
Shkabang.
Shkabang.
I'm working some different ones. Hashtag shkabang. But shkapow. No.
No, I like shebang better.
Shkaballop.
Kerpow probably works.
Do you remember
That's probably patent
Codswallop?
pinning my Batman.
Do what?
Remember Codswallop?
I do.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. I tried
That was
it out for
okay. Just I like. Yeah, your other one's better.
Okay, whatever. Anyway,
Whatever.
why did we talk about Skrbang? But anyways, I am totally a single coil guy, or we're in Martinsville, so single coil guy. Single coil. But I got to wash my truck.
Yeah, true.
I got to wash my truck. I'm gonna change the oil.
Change oral.
Change my oil.
And
But
after you use the toilet.
I use the toilet, of course.
It's kind of owed.
Yeah. My favorite one is like, oh, you saw me do that. You knowed I was going to do that. You knowed it.
You done knowed it.
Don't hurt my
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah. The only person to ever use Node and it be awesome is Bob Dylan. And if your name's not Bob Dylan, you cannot say Node.
It's true.
And the song is Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. You go check it out. It's a great song. You're welcome. But I am straight up, I love me some single coils. I don't think it's just for guys. I think it's just I see what you mean by the humbucker thing, because it does raise the output. But to me, one of the greatest sounds is a neck pickup on a Strat.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can boost that and just make it louder, why not? Because it still has, it's not higher output, but it has the same characteristics of a higher output pickup, I think.
I do like a good humbucker on a telly on the neck. Believe it or not.
Really?
Like,
See, to me, it might be
what's
muddy.
Brent use? Mason is like a Gibson something or other.
He's a mini bucker, right?
Yeah, mini bucker.
Yeah, it sounds really good on the neck.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
But yeah, I mean that to me, I think it's just for anybody that wants to be a little louder. Hopefully that answers it. I think.
I never was a big fan of boost to try to get like a humbuckery type of sound.
No,
just
although you being a Telecaster guy, maybe you know what it is. I imagine they're just reversing polarity, maybe, but I don't know. But basically, I've seen 4-way switches on Telecasters, standard Telecasters. Is that just reversing the phase of the two pickups run at the same time? So basically, you have the neck, then you have bridge, then you have bridge and neck, and then you have neck, and then you can hit bridge and neck reverse phase. So it basically acts like a humbucker.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Reverse phase or series and parallel, or series versus parallel?
Sure, but no, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea. That's kind of why I'm asking. But it's a 4-way selector switch, and I played one on a. It was just what do they call those? I don't know. It was just a standard Telecaster, like American standard, but it sounded great.
Cool.
You know, so I mean, you might want to look into that.
When I was younger, I always wanted to put like a switch for each pickup on my Telecaster. You know what I mean? So that way I could activate and then like switches to make it go parallel versus series.
Yeah, see, that would just... I played a guitar.
It looked like one of our pedals. It'd have like 14 knobs and 15 switches.
I played...
be all bloody.
There's this, at my gig last night, this guy loaned me a guitar, and it was a Telecaster, and this guy... It was Rex.
Okay.
Rex cannot leave a guitar alone. And this is what I love about the guy. Like, he basically takes a guitar, and he'll be like, it's not good enough. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. So he handed me a Tele, and it had 2 hot rails in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Coil tapped.
I had hot rails in a Tele once.
Yeah, coil tapped. So it had like obviously your selector switch, 3-way selector switch, volume and tone, but it also had this like toggle, this 3-way toggle that did all kinds of stuff. But I learned something last night. Pedal I hate. Well, I'm not gonna say I hate it because I've heard people use it and it sounds great, but I cannot get a good sound out of it. That Blues Driver, a stock Boss Blues Driver,
really?
I cannot make them sound good.
Really?
Yeah.
Bobby makes them sound kind of cool.
Who?
Bob Keeley.
Well, no. I mean a stock one.
Oh, the stock one?
Yeah, the stock one.
They're not.
But
they're not
I kind of dig them for some stuff.
I don't at all, man. I turn the tone almost all the way off.
Yeah, well, they're real bright, so you got to turn the tone down.
Oh man. And
stock. I mean.
Yeah, if you go to any type of bridge pickup on that, it's just.
In fact, I did a just for the fun of it. I wanted to see what happened if we used like some basic standard transistors and like rebuilt the circuit. And did some mods to it once.
Okay.
And I just wanted to see what it'd sound like, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was a little different, but...
Yeah, but then again, I mean, that's not really fair to say about the Blues Driver because you're tuning it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's face it, you're kind of known to have an ear for tone, especially dirt. You know, so like if you're tuning it, chances are it sounded pretty good, and chances are it didn't really sound like a Blues Driver anymore.
It didn't sound much like a Blues Driver.
See what I'm saying? Sorry to say no, but like no, I don't know. The stock ones I just don't dig.
But yeah, I can see that. I'm not a huge fan of them, but
I just lost my boss endorsement.
No, have you ever tried using it for just a smidgen of dirt, just a little bit?
No, because the only time I've ever used them is like at jams when I have to.
Really?
You know, I would never purposely use one.
Really?
Yeah, I would never. I would never.
Yeah, see, I used to dig them.
I would. Oh man, I'm going to do this just to make people mad. All right,
sure.
But it's. But it is true. I would rather use some type of Chinese-made tube screamer than a Blues Driver.
So Arion tubulator, $15.
I would probably rather use that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the Blues Driver that sounds so plastic to me. You know. I don't know. You used one for a while, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I used one for stock, but kind of like what Brian's talking about. I use it for just a smidge of gain and roll the tone way down. Mm-hmm. I use that after a tube screamer just to give it a little more...
A little bit like a boost.
Yeah,
like
a little bit more
boost.
See, maybe that's the score there. Maybe I'm missing the boat on that. But
now, when you turn them up, they kind of get fuzzy and splatty. Yeah, but just a smidge of...
It sounds like shame.
It sounds like shame.
Yeah, it sounds like shame.
It smells like...
But... Yeah, man, I don't know. Sorry, that's a little off topic there, but...
No, it's about guitars.
Yeah, I know, but I used that because the guy let me borrow it. So my go-to open mic night jam pedal is that Clarksdale. It does everything because when you go to a blues jam, you go into whatever amp's there. Mm-hmm. So I have to have a 3-band EQ. I have to because and I had a terrible... Go ahead.
I'm having a problem in designing stuff lately because I like that active EQ so much.
Yeah,
I'm
you want to put it on everything?
Everything I'm designing, and of course we're going to put an active EQ on it. But I can't do that with everything.
Why not make a pedal that's just a 3-band EQ?
I'm way beyond that.
Okay.
I've already got something.
I'll tell you about it later.
I'll tell you about it later. I can't give it away. But it's going to be... It's going to be a cool EQ.
What I was going to say, though, is just offered as a cheap pedal. But the problem is when you make them in America, it's kind of hard to offer.
Well, I mean, we can, as long as we build them in China, and use kids to build them, like every other Chinese company.
My kid's 14 months old. We could put him on it.
Yeah, everybody else.
Right?
I mean, that's apparently the Chinese company that's built our pedals is using.
I figured out how to end the problem with sweatshops. Air conditioning.
Oh,
Hey, that's
terrible
Mitch
joke.
Hedberg. I can't take credit for that. So if I offend you, you're offended by a dead guy, and that's
So-
on you.
So did you see on Facebook the other day, Jason had said something about, or actually it's on the blog, about the
Yeah.
Chinese triple Rex versus our triple Rex?
You mean Chipple Rex?
Yeah, apparently this,
You want to laugh, but you don't want to laugh.
apparently
Oh,
there's some
wow.
companies in China that are like basically cut like Mad Professor and Exotic and some other companies that they're actually trying to they're basically counterfeiting is what they're doing.
Yeah.
All these other companies' pedals.
Yeah,
And
you can probably I know where you can get them. Probably.
yeah, I have a strong feeling this company in China is going to be going down in flames shortly. though.
Yeah, because maybe you guys can like team up.
That's
there's a
that's what I
guild.
hear.
There's a guild.
So
Dun,
Secret.
dun, dun.
Okay, so Max is stuck on the dun dun dun. I've always talked about the dramatic hamster.
Let's throw it
Right.
up on screen here.
Well, how about we just post a link in the description? What?
I'm gonna get something thrown one day.
Well, Bob, our video editor, is right here. He can do it. He has the knowledge and the technology,
I know.
right?
On screen. Nothing.
One of these days he's going to do it, and it's going to be like just something stupid. You're like, no, that's not what I want thrown up there. It's going to be like Mary Lou Retton or something.
Went the Batman. But it's there.
And then it'll just be like Greg Louganis.
It's gonna say like, "Come on."
Max
like,
didn't know who Greg Louganis was earlier.
I wasn't born till '86. I think it was 2 when it happened.
Yeah, but he's.
Can I do a
you know who
shout
he
out?
is? Yeah, you have to.
I
do
know
a shout
he's
do
a
a shout
sports
out?
figure of some sort.
Yeah.
So I'm talking more than normal. So I probably won't talk at all next episode. But I get a lot of really cool T-shirts. Right, tons of people send us really cool T-shirts. I try to wear them every episode that I can. But I got one that just really stuck out to me, and it's actually not even gear related. He sent a handwritten note to it, so I'm going to read it here. It says,
Yeah, who does handwritten notes? That's
"Yeah,
awesome.
This is awesome.
That's great.
He actually took the time to write.
I
me.
like to use the font in Microsoft Word. It looks like
Comic Sans, so you just sign it. No, but like, and this it has no swear words at me, so evidently it's cool. This says, "Dear Max, here is a big shirt, brand new." That's parentheses for a fellow Husky guy. It's a shirt from Station 4 in the city of Miami Fire Department. Love the podcast and your pedals. Oh yeah, I'm a guitar playing fireman, Carlos. That's pretty cool, right?
That's great.
that's
I mean,
pretty
you
cool.
got guys, like putting out fires and saving people's lives and stuff, but
Take the time to
take the time to send you a T-shirt. So
Yeah.
all the guys in Firehouse 4 in Miami, Florida, thank
and
you very much.
firefighters everywhere.
Yeah,
And
firefighters,
service personnel.
local
really.
municipalities. That's a big word.
Municipalities.
Municipalities. That's
Yeah.
my word of the day.
It's so fun. Like almost everybody in my family is some type of like. My sister was like she graduated like in the top 5% of the Dallas Police Academy. You know, my brother-in-law was a state trooper for 20 years. Now he's head of security at a naval base. You know, so it's like I have a huge respect
Yeah.
for service people.
You guys are out there
So,
busting.
yeah, thank you
hopping.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
man.
much.
And especially ones that play guitar. Why not, right? So those are kind of your questions answered, John G. But
Is it Gregorowski?
Gregorowski. That's it. Gregorowski.
Gregorowski.
I'm Polish. I should know this stuff.
You should know this stuff, right? Why you always gotta classify people?
That's true.
It's profiling.
It's not profiling. Profiling's wrong,
And that's
Travis.
Guilt Trip with Travis Feaster.
Hashtag guilt trip.
Hashtag Guilt Trip. Come on. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section on the YouTube or shoot us an email, podcast@wamplerpedals.com or max@wamplerpedals.com.
There you
You
go,
can
there
phone
he
him
was.
at area code 812-514. Sorry.
No,
No. Okay.
that's not it. That's not it. Thank you.
I'm going to subconsciously leak out extra numbers every episode till somebody
Next episode, do the last 4 digits.
Yeah, do the last one. I'll
now
just be
you're
like, I
clued.
must have done that like 3, 6, 8, 4 times.
You got your orphan decoder ring. For this clue, it will be sponsored by Ovaltine.
By Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Yeah, it was a Christmas store. Drink your Ovaltine. That's it. Oh,
But check out Max's blog.
Yeah,
wampapedals.com/blog. Check out Chasing Tone on Facebook. You guys are really slacking on that. It hurts. The Instagram's taken off though. Chasing Tone Podcast Instagram. Check that out for random pictures of things that I struggle to come up with around my house. I'm sure my dog will make an appearance or something, you know.
Or guitars that take me 4 years to finish.
Oh yeah. Did you see the latest one? Instagram post. Oh man. So Max started this Telecaster project, right? And I don't think he realized how long it's taken him.
No.
And he was like, "Well, dude, things come up like light bills and groceries."
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
And
yeah,
I was like, dude, May of 2011 is when this thing started. That's a lot of light bills. And he's like, shut up, Richard. But anyways, leave us a question, comment, shoot us an email, check us out online. Thank you guys so very much for listening. Oh, I forgot to say, for Max and Brian, I'm Travis. Thanks for listening.